I get to witness every day neighbors, residents helping each other.
A great city, I think, first and foremost because of our residents.
They come to events where we are opening new parks, where we have a redevelopment of a new park like South Valley.
They really care about the natural areas that we have.
One thing I really love about our residents in Inver Grove Heights is their engagement.
The list goes on and on of how our residents are engaged in volunteerism.
A lot of people tend to stay in Inver Grove Heights for a long time, like me, lifelong resident.
We're this little niche community that's right below a huge metropolitan area, and yet we have a hometown feel.
I love that Inver Grove Heights has so much potential. We've got a lot of dedicated green space, but a lot of opportunity for development.
The city itself has really worked well with the residents to create a city and an environment that is pleasing and inviting to everybody.
We continue to do the right thing. This will always be a place where families want to live.
It is absolutely the best city in the state, hands down. The things I love about Inver Grove Heights are our residents, how they go out on trails, they meet with each other. We have great biking, walking trails, and also folks that pass through our community stop and get to realize what a great city we have here. Some things I learned this year about Inver Grove Heights are that the residents and the businesses here really reinvest in our community. This year, residents continue to see a lot of new development in the city of Inver Grove Heights. I'm proud to say that Inver Grove Heights has grown and welcomed new residents and new development while remaining a tight-knit community that supports local businesses and celebrates its roots. As of October 1st, Inver Grove Heights has added 44 single-family homes, 57 townhomes, and over 1,000 apartments to its housing stock so far this year. New housing is a priority because there is a significant unmet demand for housing in Minnesota, particularly in the Twin Cities metro, and this trend is expected to continue. New homes help attract new businesses to the community and add to the city's tax base. In fact, the value of housing added so far this year totals almost $67 million. For next year, developers have concept plans in various stages of development, showing the addition of another 1,677 residential units to the city's housing stock. In other development news this year, the city is excited to welcome several new restaurants to Inver Grove Heights, including Tono's Pizza and Cheesesteaks, Hangry Joe's Hot Chicken, Yo-Yo Donuts, and Pizza Pub. As mayor and a member of the business community, I hear IGH residents tell me they want to see more retail development in the city. So, our goal as council is to leverage what Inver Grove Heights has to offer and the opportunities before us to make IGH a community of choice for those wanting a place to live and raise a family, open a business, or both. An active and engaged economic development authority, along with a growing community, will continue to attract additional retail and commercial development to Inver Grove Heights in 2025 and beyond. Businesses would love to come here because we have the open land if they want to develop from new, we have retail space available, and we have industrial space. So we are ready and excited about business coming to Inver Grove Heights.
The residents of Inver Grove Heights are people who really appreciate beauty and open spaces, and they love living in our community. Today, we see some interesting demographic trends taking shape in the city. Inver Grove Heights is getting a little bit older. In fact, the average age of a resident here is just over 41 years, as compared to 38.5 years in the state. 45% of the city's residents were born before 1981. According to the 2020 census, 2/3 of Inver Grove Heights housing stock is owned by baby boomers and Gen Xers. An aging population will likely mean some housing turnover and new families moving in. The city will need to do more to enhance housing options for all residents, including seniors who would like to remain in the city as they downsize their living spaces, and people looking for their first or next home. IGH has a lot to offer families and young people, including great schools and opportunities to learn and grow close to home. The city is home to a new performing arts center at Simley High School, Inver Glen Library, and Inver Hills Community College. Additionally, the Veterans Memorial Community Center continues to offer innovative programming to support young people, such as its award-winning fifth quarter program, as well as opportunities for part-time employment experience. City parks offer many amenities for young people to enjoy, such as the skateboarding park, disc golf course, hockey rinks, and our storied sledding hill. The IGH community is growing and changing, and we are seeing new families move into the city. Currently, people of color comprise over 20% of the city's population, and demographic trends suggest that IGH's population will continue to diversify and grow. As the city grows, so does the need to protect the natural environment. This year, as a response to the growing awareness of the importance of environmental sustainability, city staff and the Environmental Advisory Commission successfully introduced a sustainable IGH program. Residents and businesses who take sustainable actions, such as conserving energy and water, landscaping with native plants, recycling and volunteering, can be recognized for their efforts. This year, 13 residents and 5 businesses, including Inver Glen Library, received sustainable IGH recognition. It was a first step for the city to show its support for something that residents are indicating they care about and want to see the city pay more attention to.
This is the first ever Sustainable IGH Award ceremony, so thank you for having us.
For me, what I love about Inver Grove Heights is always come down to the people that have chosen to live here and work here. And over the years, they've continued to grow with the city and help the city grow. And that's what I've always loved about this city. Through the good and the bad, the city, the residents have always stuck together.
Now let's get this ribbon cutting underway and start making memories in South Valley Park.
This year, the city saw an increased investment in parks and recreation come to fruition. With input from the community, we reimagined, rebuilt, and reopened South Valley Park in the heart of IGH.
And welcome to your park.
The two biggest accomplishments being connecting the trail through the park between the two cities and finding solutions to manage the water level of the lake.
This fall, in conjunction with South St. Paul and Dakota County, we also completed a trail reconstruction and extension at beautiful Seidels Lake. This year, the city continued steps towards emphasizing recreation for residents of all abilities. For example, Phase 4 of the city's long-term vision for Heritage Village Park was completed in 2024. And next year, Phase 5 construction will start, which will include an inclusive playground and splash pad with accessible parking. And at Veterans Memorial Community Center, programming includes adaptive rec activities in cooperation with Reach for Resources, which offers inclusive parties and recreational events for people of all abilities. The stated participation levels at the VMCC and at the city's golf course are strong. In fact, the VMCC has 3,900 members and has welcomed more than 24,000 daily pass holders to the aquatics and fitness centers to date. Roughly 100,000 golfers utilized Inverwood Golf Course this season, with 70,000 rounds of golf played. And very exciting news for next year. We'll be lighting up the Rock Island Swing Bridge, part of a joint project involving the city, Dakota County, and the state of Minnesota, and inviting neighboring community members to make the Swing Bridge a destination spot in the Twin Cities. Tennis, pickleball, golf, disc golf, you can do it all here in Inver Grove Heights. So it kind of offers something for everybody from birth through what I would call old age. You know, we all have something for us to do. I think the city has done a pretty good job at balancing green space and development. I think by listening to our residents, we can grow smartly.
So excited that everybody is here to join in on this special occasion.
Your ideas help shape the park into what it is today.
The residents are engaged and they show up. They show up from everything from pavement management meetings to community engagement meetings like park openings. They are telling me things they like, dislike, things that they're concerned about, but either way, I get to know how they feel, and it makes my job easier. There was important news in utilities this year. The city began repairs and upgrades to the IGH water treatment facility. The city is leveraging $2.5 million in ARPA funds, allocated by the federal government after the COVID pandemic, to cover expenses for this vital $4.7 million long-term asset improvement project. A new filtration system, in combination with steps that city staff have already taken to better address the removal of radium and other contaminants, will bring the plant up to date and ensure that city water remains safe to drink. Upgrades at the water treatment facility are expected to be complete in 2025. In pavement management this year, the city repaired 5.6 miles of roadway. Prior to 2021, before the city's pavement management initiative made road repair a top priority, the city was repairing less than 3 miles per year. Road projects that were completed this year include 96th Street and 99th Street, Bixby Way, Corcoran Path, and Dawson, Dempsey, and Delano Ways. Pavement improvement remains a top priority for the city. In fact, in 2024, the city applied what is called an ultra-thin bonded wear course application to 5 miles of streets in South Grove. This street project, which came with no assessment for property owners, addressed the premature deterioration of seal-coated streets constructed almost 20 years ago. Ultra-thin represents a newer, effective way of utilizing limited funds to quickly address and improve road conditions in the city. It will be used more broadly as part of the pavement management toolbox. I'm impressed with our Public Works Department and how they effectively use our city funds. I'm also impressed with the level of customer service and responsiveness that our residents have become used to.
Well, our residents are great. I'm very proud of our residents because they pay attention to our city. Whether it's the actions of our police and fire, whether it is new retail in town, our new parks, actions of our staff, our residents notice and they are very appreciative. This has been an outstanding year for city's police and fire departments, and both have been recognized for their excellence not only by residents, but also outside the IGH community on the state and national stages. This year, the National Volunteer Fire Council's Junior Firefighter Program of the Year Award went to the Inver Grove Heights Fire Department for its exceptional Explorer and Cadet programs. These programs were part of a joint effort by the department and Simley High School to attract a new generation of recruits to a career in firefighting. Over at the police department, patrol officers cited a total of 241 DWIs in the past year alone. Officer Jacob Weldon was named one of the top 60 DWI law enforcers in the state by the Department of Public Safety and was applauded at a Minnesota Twins game. In addition, the police department received a $375,000 COPS grant from the U.S. Department of Justice to fund additional hiring at the Inver Grove Heights PD. Both police and fire departments remained busy meeting the daily needs of IGH residents and assisting neighboring communities. The fire department received 3,060 calls for service last year, which averages out to over 8 calls per day. Despite the hectic pace, median response time was an impressive 5 minutes and 41 seconds. 67% of fire department calls were for medical assistance, which is an additional and relatively new expectation placed on firefighters. In fact, Inver Grove Heights firefighters are now trained to place intravenous lines into patients before EMTs arrive. Inver Grove Heights Fire Department has also continued certifying civilians through CPR and first aid classes. Additionally, in the past 12 months, a total of 533 fire inspections were completed and 790 deficiencies were addressed. The fire department held 2 recruitment informational sessions where 40 individuals showed up to hear about the expectations of being a firefighter. This resulted in 18 new additions to the 2024-2025 recruitment class. The police department responded to an impressive 36,684 911 calls for service in the past year, up 20% from 2021. This averages to just over 100 calls per day. Some of these calls involved a mental health component, which can make response and follow-through more complex. In the past 9 months, our mental health officer and embedded social worker had 813 police calls sent to them for review. Because of the referrals they made for additional services and outreach, the team completed a total of 329 reports. The mental health officer and embedded social worker team averages 3 to 8 knock and talk follow-up attempts a week, where they go in person to find an individual in need of service after a police call. The team also made 47 follow-ups by phone, 72 follow-ups through email, and 82 in-person follow-up meetings. In the past year, Inver Grove patrol officers filed 3,584 police reports, conducted 8,082 traffic stops, and issued 1,591 total traffic and criminal citations. In the community, the contributions of School Resource Officer Erica Ide, who works out of Simley High School and serves District 199 students and staff, remain a valuable part of proactively connecting with the Inver Grove Heights youth and addressing potential safety concerns before they escalate. In so many ways, our police department serves IGH residents above and beyond answering 911 calls. Police outreach activities remain an essential part of the work they do to keep our community safe and connected. Next year, the city is prioritizing adding additional staff to both police and fire departments, with 1 additional firefighter and 3 police officers included in the preliminary budget. Both the police and fire departments do an excellent job of community outreach. Our departments offer events such as citizen academies, open houses, and Night to Unite. I expect to see this high level of visibility and positive presence in our community continue in 2025 and future years. I mean, after our very basic, needs, there's our personal safety, and the work of our police and fire departments help ensure that personal safety, and in doing so, really create a community that families want to call home. What I think is great about our public safety departments, our police and our fire, is their community interaction, and that certainly starts with the leadership in both departments. I often hear from residents that talking to one of our police officers or talking to one of our firefighters just makes them feel good. And I do know that amongst the kids in town, our canine officers, Officer Chase and Officer Asher, are very, very popular.
Thank you for watching and learning what's new about Inver Grove Heights. As always, don't hesitate to reach out to myself, council, or staff, or visit us 24/7 at ighmn.gov. We look forward to serving you and working together to reach new heights in 2025.